Hello everyone. So today we will learn about queries, forms and reports of a database. Now these three terms are the most important objects of a database. So we will learn one by one. So let us first start with query. So what is a query? A query is a question. Now this question, how we will implement it on the tables that you have created inside the database. Now we have learned that how to insert values inside the database. We also have learned what a database is. Now from our previous knowledge we know that inside a database we are storing different informations in one organized manner. Now after storing the informations, we know that these informations we will need in our future, and that is the reason why we are storing it. If we do not need any information, we will never store it, because the informations we have stored, we will be using these informations in the future. Now all the informations that you have stored inside the table, all the informations might not be used in the future. So whenever we start working with different circumstances or different situations, in those situations all the informations might not be required. There might be some conditions, and based on those conditions only different values from the tables that you have stored will be used. To obtain those values that you have already stored inside the database, we will do it using a query. So there are two ways of finding out the values. The first one is query wizard and the second one is query design. So to do that, first we will click on the create option. This is the create tab. From the create tab we go to the other group. From the other group, these are the two options that we use to create a query. So first let us work with query wizard. After clicking query wizard, we will go to simple query wizard. Okay, then this is the table that you have created. The name of the table was student, and these are the fields that are present inside the student table. Now from these fields, what are the fields that you want to display in the query? If you want everything, we will select all. If I do not want everything, I will only select the fields that I want to display. So suppose roll number I want to display, I'll click on the first option. Suppose name also I want, address also, marks also and grade also. Now after doing this, I realize that no, I don't want everything. I want only roll number, name and marks. Address and grade I don't need. So what I can do is I can send grade and address back to the available fields column. So I have to select grade and select this option now. I don't want address also, so select address and send it back. Done. Now these are the three fields that I want to display inside my query. Click on next, detail, then next, open the query and click on finish. Now see, this was the table where all the informations are saved. Now putting a query to this particular table, I got the output to be this. From this table, I have only selected the values that I think I will be using in the future, or I will be using it for some work now. So this is one way of creating. So remember one thing, when we are working with wizard, we don't normally put any criterias or any conditions. Next, we will start to work with query design. So how to work with query design? Again, click on create, next query design. Now from this, here the names of the tables will be available or visible. Since only one table we have created, we will click on the students table, click on add and click on close. So what we did, we clicked on the create button, query design, then a window came. From that window we selected the name of the table, clicked on add and then clicked on close. Now this is the query window. This entire part is the query window. This query window is divided into two parts. This is the first part and this is the second part. That means this is the top section and this is the bottom section. So inside the top section, what do we have is the name of the table, and these are the names of the fields that you have created inside the table. And these are grid-like structures where we will enter the names of the fields along with some criteria if we want to put. Now we will always start working in the bottom section. First part is by default, it will be visible to you after you click on add, and whatever we have to do we will always do in the bottom section. So now from here, when you click on field, all the fields will be displayed. I can select any one. Say I want to display roll number. Name of the table will be by default displayed. Second, I want to display suppose marks. Third, I want to display suppose grade. If you want to display name, here also you can display name also. Suppose address I don't need. So now inside my query I want to display these 4 columns. Along with displaying these 4 columns, I can also put some conditions. Conditions like I want to display suppose all the marks which are above 80. So to display all the marks above 80, we have to put a condition. Where? In the marks column. I cannot put the condition in the roll number column. Why? Because roll number field is not having any number or any value that is greater than 80. Similarly, in the grades column, I cannot enter this condition because grade is a character, cannot be numbers. Same situation happens to be with the name column. So the condition that I want to put will be inside the marks column. So for this marks column, you can see there is a property called criteria. So this criteria will help us to impose different conditions for this particular column. So what was the condition that we were talking about? Our condition was to display all the marks of the students who got above 80. So I will write down the condition here. See, corresponding to the criteria field and just below marks. So I'll write greater than 80. Greater than 80 means all the marks will be displayed above 80. After doing this, we have to run the query. So there is the run option, a red exclamatory sign. I'll simply click on it and see all the marks which are greater than 80 is displayed here. So this is how you work with two ways of creating a query from one table. So this was our original table where all the values are present. This is the query which we created with wizard where all the informations are present without any condition. And this is the query that we created with design view. That means here we have imposed different conditions. Now imposing conditions is up to you. If you want to impose, you'd give. If you do not want any conditions, you want to display everything, you don't need to write anything inside the criteria field. So here we come to the end of the query object. Now next we come to forms. Now what are forms? While entering or while creating this table, we enter the values inside one place and one by one. So here if I want to enter one more value, I will have to enter here only. So this might create some kinds of confusions to some persons. So to do it one by one, forms are necessary. So there are three ways to create the forms again. We will click on create again, forms. One is the form command, next is split form, and the next is we go to more forms and form wizard. So first we will start with form. So we will have to simply click on the form button. This is the way a form looks like. You want to view the information one by one. Form is helpful, or form will help us in doing that. Plus if you want to enter the values, that also you can do. So we can go to the next by clicking here. Number 2, 3, 4, blank. Here if I want to enter, I can enter the values. So next we go to split form. What is split form? Split form is, let us click and see. Now split form means, see here one by one informations will be displayed, and here the entire table will be displayed. This is the split form. Next we click on create, more forms and form wizard. Now form wizard, we can select what are the things that you want to enter or you want to view inside the form. I can select roll number, I can select name, I can select marks, I can select grade. Click on next. This is the way you want to display the form. Let us select the first one only. Click on next. This is the type of characters. Next, then we click on, or the option which is selected, we will let it be that only, we will not change anything. Then we will click on finish. This is the form where only 4 things are, or 4 fields are displayed, because we wanted to display only 4. So these are the 3 types of forms that we created. This was the query wizard, this is query design, this is a normal form, this is form split, and this is form wizard. Next we come to report. So what is a report? A report is a easy way of displaying the informations. Let us look into it, you will get a clear idea. So there are again two ways how to create a report. Report button or command and the report wizard. So let us click on the report. See. So this can be printed easily. So since we were working with only 4 columns, only 4 columns are displayed. Address we skipped in the last query, so only 4 columns are displayed. If you want, you can delete everything and fresh you can click on report, all 5 things will be present. So next, if I click on report wizard, here also I am allowed to select what I want to display. Suppose this time I want to display everything. Then click on next. Names of the columns that you want to display. Next, I don't want to select anything in ascending or descending order, because that we have already learned how to do it. So we'll simply click on next. Again, the way you want to display the report. Next, these are the type of characters or the type of fonts that you want to display. the characters width. Then click on next, preview the report and finish. See, this is the final report that you want to display. So I hope all these 3 objects of databases are clear. So we will wait for the next video. So till then, keep practicing and stay safe. Thank you.